So in our recently concluded elections, one of the things we saw was how we had quite a number of candidates, not many, a few, disqualified because the names on some of their documents did not, match the names on their other documents. So there were basically discrepancies in how they identified themselves, or there were discrepancies in which names they chose to adopt. And this idea or this scenario is not perfect. Having personally experienced it as well, I too was a candidate, but not for elections. I was a candidate during a job application process. Yes, so what happened was I applied for this job and went through the interview process successfully, emerged among the top two, and then when they were looking to disqualify one of us because there was only one job opening, the reason that they based on to disqualify me was the fact that the names in my academic documents did not match with the names on my national ID. So just like that, I missed a very good job opportunity. My name is Karamagi Melanie Kwanzi, and today, in 15 minutes with the law, we are going to be talking about what is in a name. What is in a name? So let's start there. What is in a name? Under the law, a name is what gives you identity. A name is how we identify you. For some of us, even just mentioning your name, people will automatically know which family you come from. When you mention your name, we shall know which part of the country you come from. So under the law, that is how important a name is. It gives you identity. That is why it appears on your national identity card. So it is very important how you write your name. It is very important how you write your name, because it can cost you like it cost me. It can cost you some good opportunities, it can cost you financially, or otherwise, depending on which situation you find yourself in. So which mistakes can affect how our names appear, or which mistakes can affect how we are identified, or which mistakes can give us a different identity. Let us start with how you write your name in terms of spelling. Yes, spelling. From my personal experience, any name can have more than one spelling, depending on who is writing it, depending on how they hear it. Yes, so people write names differently, depending on how they feel they should be spelled, or depending on how they hear them. So it would be, let me say, it would be okay if someone spelled your name wrongly. That is quite an understandable mistake. However, if as an individual you have more than one spelling for your name, then that is a big problem. That is a big problem that can cost you quite a bit. Yes, so I encourage you to adopt one spelling for your name. Yes, adopt a particular spelling for your name, because having different spellings means that you present yourself as a different person every time you choose to write a different spelling. So choose to adopt one spelling for your name. Yes, because then we know that that is how we identify you. That is how we identify you. And then also let's briefly talk about abbreviations. For many of us, maybe we feel like our names are too long, or depending on the circumstances, you feel like you do not have the time to write the full name. Well, if you choose to abbreviate your name, you are still informing us that those are different people. Yes, so every time there is a change in how you write your name, it means that that is a different person we are talking about. If you spell it differently, that's a different person you're talking about. If you choose to abbreviate it, that is a different person we are talking about. Because people don't have time to assume that, okay, your friends might have the time to assume because some of them help you shorten your name anyway. But when we talk about government offices or any other official business that you may conduct, people may not have the time to assume that when you wrote Imi, you are meaning immaculate. They will take it as it is, and when you present documents bearing different names, they will ask you, is this the same person? And if there is no document to explain that you're actually the same person, you use it interchangeably, that could be a reason for your disqualification. So, if you are immaculate and it appears on all your other official documents, most especially if that is how your parents have chosen to write it right from your birth certificate, I encourage you to also adopt the full form of your name. Yes, because it will save you from a lot of explanation, a lot of financial implication that may come with having explained that you are one and the same person. Yes, and then also let us talk about the order of your names. I will use an example of myself. If I'm Karamagi Melanie Kwanzi, but I choose to sometimes write Kwanzi Melanie Karamagi, or I choose to write Melanie Karamagi Kwanzi, those are three different people under the law. So, by implication, you are talking to us about three different people every time you are filling in a document with a totally different order of names. So under the law, we shall assume that you are talking about three different people. We shall not imply that, oh, you meant Karamagi Melanie Kwanzi, but you wrote Kwanzi Melanie Karamagi. We shall not imply that simply because you have chosen to write a different order, but all the names are appearing. So I encourage you to adopt a particular order as you write those names. So for parents, if you have chosen to adopt a particular order on that child's birth certificate, so be very, very careful right from the time you are filling that birth certificate, because I believe that is the first official document of your child. So if you have chosen that that is the order you want them to work with, even right into adulthood, teach them that order. Teach your child that order right from when they start school and they start writing their name in class, when they are filling in their P7 forms. Teach them that that is the order they have to work with, because if you do not teach them that that is the order they have to work with, in the future it can become a problem for them and also for you, because at a certain point you might have to, incur certain financial costs because you are trying to explain that, when I was getting for them a national ID, I used a different name, and also when I was getting their birth certificate, I used a different name, and also when they were going to P7, I used a different name. So be very careful, dear parents. Teach your children which order they should adopt. Teach them the right spellings of their names, even when the teacher at school insists that this is how they should spell their name. You as a parent know how you wanted that name to be spelled. So insist on a particular spelling for your child's name. If they abbreviate, please emphasize or insist that the name should be written in full as it appears on your child's official documents. Yes. So for my married ladies, also if you choose to adopt your husband's name, I believe that during probably your lower time, or the time when you are pursuing education at a lower point, my assumption is that you are not yet married. So you are using solely you are using your maiden name, but now maybe you have chosen to get your national ID and it includes your spouse's name. I highly encourage that as you are going through any formal application process, for example, you are applying for your master's or you are applying for a job, kindly include a document explaining that even though you have used those names interchangeably, you are one and the same person. Yes, that document, once it is attached to any formal application process, it prevents any inconveniences that may come with explaining that you are the same person by word of mouth, which, if it is not in any official record, it may become a problem for some people. I have seen that maybe salary has been delayed because right from the time you got married, you have adopted your husband's name. So at your workplace, you use your husband's name. On your national ID, use your husband's name. But then when it comes to any other, maybe by the time you got your bank account, you are not yet married. And now the bank is not reconciling the two names. So the money cannot come onto your account because of the discrepancy in the names. So that is something that can cost you both in the short run and the long run. So be very, very careful as you write your name. Take caution. Insist if you are before an official and they are choosing to write your name for you, insist on checking how they have written your name, or even ask that you see how they have written your name. Yeah, it's very important. It is very important. So that is all the time we had for today. I do hope that you have learned a thing or two. I do hope that you will take caution as you fill in those documents, as you write your name, and make it a habit. Make it a habit wherever you go. Even though it's not really official, make it a habit to stick to a particular order, to stick to a particular spelling as you write your name, so that it becomes a part of you. Yes, so it becomes a part of you. Yes, so God bless you. I do hope to see you next time. I hope that you can share this with someone that can learn also a thing or two as you have probably learned. Yeah, so God bless. See you next time. Bye.